Hey buddy, it's Crazy Guitar 4 and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. In the last one, we went through All-Star mode as Falco Lombardi of the Star Fox crew, and that was pretty fun. Got to play as this guy again. This time around though, we're going to be of course going through All-Star mode with Pikachu, our first Pokemon for All-Star mode. Now for Pikachu, I'm not entirely sure which palette swap I'm going to be going with. I do like the green bandana a lot, that one's really good. But if I had to pick one, I might potentially go with this one based off the male protagonist of Pokemon X and Y. I think this might be my pick. Plus it's the new one, so it's like, oh, this is also new. Party Hat's like the original, and this one's based off of one of my favorite protagonists from Pokemon. I don't know, Pikachu's another interesting one where it's like, I never really cared much for any of them besides the standard, until Ultimate of course, but screw it, we're gonna be going with this one. With the protagonist from X and Y, I'm pretty sure his name is Calum, so shout out to my boy Calum. Yeah. So we're gonna go over this one. I like this one a lot, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see how Pikachu runs, because Pikachu is pretty good in this game from what I remember. He's like an A tier character. Whoa, sorry, not A tier. He's A tier in Ultimate. He's like B tier in this game, but still, B is like what? Like it's like a high mid tier, something like that. So you know, I'd still say he's very, very solid in Smash 4. I think ever since Smash 64, I feel like they've been a little bit hesitant to really like buff Pikachu a bit, because Smash 64 Pikachu of course was like always just way too much, for sure. But yeah, I mean like ever since his minor drop in Melee, he's always like been a B tier character, either B plus or like a B tier character. And Ultimate he did get buffed quite a decent amount. He actually got sent up to like to A tier, so it actually became even better in Ultimate, getting closer to like his prime in 64, but obviously not to that extent. But there was a time where Pikachu was like, I think A plus, maybe even S tier in Ultimate. He was insanely good. I think he did drop a decent amount though. I guess people thought he was just too good, and Nintendo was like, you know what, we'll nerf him, don't worry. But yeah, so he's got some trivia. You know what, screw it, we'll start with the trivia now. He's got a little bit, so let's go for it. So, to start things off, Smash 4 is the first installment where Pikachu's teeth are visible. They can be seen when it is being grabbed by an opponent or when it is hanging on a ledge or facing left. Specifically facing left, which is very strange, but yeah. Apparently Pikachu has teeth, which I guess is kind of noticeable from the anime? I think you can see it in the anime, there might be scenes like that. But yeah, so Pikachu typically doesn't have teeth that you can really see, so it's pretty cool that they kind of like added that a little bit to the game, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so when it comes to Pikachu in general, I'm not really much of a Pikachu player myself. I have some friends who like sort of play Pikachu. Well, one friend in particular who like, I guess has Pikachu as like a main, but besides that, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have many Pikachu players in my friend circle. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with many of my friends playing Pikachu, so still a solid character though. You know, again, it's not really one that I personally play as myself, but I enjoy from time to time. But really from time to time. There are other Pokemon that I would rather play as. Like I like Charizard a lot, I like Lucario, like those two I would pick more often than Pikachu, for sure. We also got Pichu, which obviously, you know, didn't make it to this game, for Melee. But Pichu, I mean, Pichu is always, I feel like, generally like a worse Pikachu. Just because it's like, it's this, around the same character, but he damages himself, which is kind of whack, if you ask me. He is faster though, and a little smaller, which could potentially be better for like hitboxes or like just, I don't know. I mean, like it's very dependent on the person, but I know in Ultimate Pichu was really good for some time. But anyways, next piece of trivia. When Pikachu is stunned, its eyes appear as swirls. This is a reference to the Pokemon anime in which Pokemon typically display the same expression after fainting. It is also the second character to have this unique detail. The first was Kirby in the original Smash Brothers. That's pretty cool. I never knew Kirby had that either. That's pretty funny. But I guess to be fair, I haven't really encountered many situations playing Smash 64 where I would actually get stunned or have my opponent be stunned, typically it would be through shield breaking, but like it's so hard to break shields in in Smash 4. In Smash, wait, hold up. In Smash 64, there we go. It's so hard to break shields in Smash 64 as it is, just because of how big and bulky the shields are in that game. So you don't really see that. You don't really see that frequently happen. Unless you're just really, really good at shield pressure and can break a person's shield really quickly. I think out of the tournaments that I have had, and the ones where Smash 64 was present, which basically has been all of them except the most recent one, I think there was only ever one instance where someone has been able to break a shield in Smash 64. I don't remember the matchup or what characters were being used. I assume there was probably a Kirby, maybe a Fox. That's my guess though. But yeah, so there was only that one instance. It's not really frequent for someone to actually break a shield in Smash 64. I'm just saying. Especially since Smash 64 is like kind of interesting to play at. It's a little clunky sometimes, so it's like you kind of really have to really like know your way around the game to be able to pull something like that off, unless your opponent's just like really just not there. Anyways, so trivia time. When Pikachu is put to sleep, its mouth can be seen animating with its snore. That's pretty adorable. Pikachu's always been like he's been like the mascot of Pokemon for like the longest time now. And he's always been like the #1 like cutest Pokemon or something, or like one of the cutest Pokemon from like many Pokemon fans, and even non-fans are just like, oh yeah, they love Pikachu. I feel like almost anyone that really adores characters like Pikachu or characters like Kirby. I feel like a lot of females too, I've noticed from the years, have always been like favorable towards like Pikachu and Kirby just because they look cute. I mean, I'm not gonna hate. Like I agree, right? I absolutely agree with that sentiment. Damn, man, and that was all you for freaking rolling right into that. But I definitely agree with that sentiment. They are adorable, and I could definitely see the appeal because of that. But yeah. Next piece of trivia. Let's see. This is a bit more lengthy. Pikachu knows 6 official Pokemon moves in Smash 4, all of which it can learn legally in the Pokemon Core series. In addition to Skull Bash, Quick Attack, Thunder, and Volt Tackle, it can also use Thunder Wave and Thunder Shock as custom moves. One of its custom moves, Quick Feet, has the same name of an ability instead of a move, similar to Victini's Pokeball effect. However, Pikachu cannot legitimately have Quick Feet as an ability. So, that's pretty interesting. I do like when they actually like use actual Pokemon moves for the characters for the Pokemon, especially instances where like the Pokemon that you're using can actually learn the move, like Pikachu, aside from like Quick Feet, but like that's like the only exception. That's like a custom move too. And also Volt Tackle is one that I'm pretty sure Pikachu technically can't learn, but Pichu can. It's pre-evolution, Pichu can learn Volt Tackle, but Pikachu can only learn it as a Pichu. So technically it can, but again, it's only a pre-evolution move essentially for Pikachu. Oh yeah, but as I was stating a little briefly in that previous match, a lot of females definitely find the cuter characters a lot more appealing and a lot more enjoyable to like at least start off with, right? Like I definitely have had some female friends in the past who like maybe have never played Smash before or have barely played Smash, and they're like trying to pick out a character to like play as, right? And for the majority, it's typically Kirby. Kirby or Pikachu, but a lot of the time it is Kirby. Just because, I mean, not only does Kirby have that very good appeal to like, you know, newcomers and whatnot, but in general, like Kirby is a pretty simple character to like get down. I feel bad for Cloud, he was just being juggled by the train. But Kirby's always been like the character that anyone can really start off with. Like Kirby and Mario I've always seen as 2 really good starter characters for anyone that is new to the game, new to Smash. And so like I could definitely see them being 2 very popular picks among the newcomers. Which, you know, absolutely like respect that. Like go for something that you think you would be more comfortable with picking, especially if you're new to a game like Smash Brothers. And yeah, something that you can like, someone that you can use early on to like just generally know and learn the mechanics, the core mechanics of the game. And then from there you can start picking out characters you could actually like would want to like stick more to and like play more of. That's my tips and tricks for like learning Smash. It's not really much, but just general something. All right, last piece of trivia. Pikachu's pose in its official artwork for Smash 4 is based on its front sprite from Pokemon Yellow, albeit completely facing the screen. I never knew that. I do know its front sprite from Yellow. It's pretty funny. It's the Fat Pikachu, a classic. I never knew that was like kind of what it was based off of, which is pretty funny. But pretty cool too. I do like that little reference. Especially since I did recently play through, I wouldn't say I recently played through Pokemon Yellow. I played through it, I think, earlier in the summer of 2024. But I did recently come back to the game to complete the Pokédex. Why? I don't know why, I just really wanted to. I've been really wanting to like get into that Pokédex like grind for like a bunch of different games. And I decided to complete it in Pokemon Yellow. Not only did I complete the Pokédex, all 151 Pokemon, including Mew, which you can only really get from glitches in this day and age, in Gen 1, but I also, for some reason, decided to go for a living dex as well. So I got every single form of every single Pokemon. Yeah, like literally all 151 Pokemon captured, or evolved into, whatever. It was a lot of work, especially with Gen 1 being, you know, Gen 1, but it was overall a pretty good experience and definitely something that I probably won't ever do again for Gen 1. Probably not. Probably not. It just, in general, finishing Pokédexes is just a lot of work, and it's really something that you only really do like once per game, you know what I'm saying? You never really do again, just because of how much effort it can take, especially depending on the game, and if you're going for something like a national dex, for example. I guess we'll get an M tomato real quick and we'll head right in. Yeah, if you're going for like a national dex, that's kind of a like a one-time deal as well per gen, I feel. I definitely want to complete, oh, that was a weird voice thing. I definitely want to complete the national dex in all of the Pokemon gens at some point, absolutely. Like Gen 1 and Gen 2, it's kind of, they don't really have full national dexes. Gen 1 only has the original 151, and Gen 2 has like the same, but just like with some added Johto Pokemon. I think it's like less than 100 or something. They don't have like much. I mean, maybe I'll go for national dex in Gen 2 and like Crystal or something, maybe, but that's like a big maybe. But I definitely want to go for the national dex from Gens 3 and onwards, absolutely. I think that would just be a really fun, like, personal goal of mine, for sure. I want to, like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I want to have it where in each generation, right, I want to have one game where I go for a full regional dex, so just like the base Pokemon that are in the game, and then have one game where I go for a full national dex, get every single Pokemon in the game that has existed up to that point. Which is a lot of work, it is, but again, a nice, just fun, personal goal of mine that I want to achieve at some point. But here we have it, you know, we completed Pikachu's All-Star Mode run, and that's a really good score. Very close to 2.2 million. Damn, he was like right there too, but sadly, you know, I'm still not complaining about that score. That's a really good one. I like that they're actually using the Kalem hat too. Oh, I'm finally matching again with the trophy, the color in the trophy. So that's pretty nice. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, there's Pikachu's run through. Went pretty well, honestly. Pikachu is quite enjoyable to play through All-Star Mode with. You know, obviously he's not like a super heavy hitter. I mean, he has pretty good kill options for sure, but he's not like a super heavy hitter, not like the character that you will like be able to do like 1 or 2 hits and then the opponent will die, right? But still, he's got some strong smash attacks on him, and even like two really strong special moves in the form of Thunder, of course, and Skull Bash. So he has some very solid killing options that I feel like came in very handy for All-Star Mode. So definitely big props to those moves for sure, And is that it? What am I missing? Is this one tiny piece right over here? How did I miss that? There we go, we got it, it's easy. That's a fun picture. Pikachu carrying a box. I don't know what Mario and Peach are doing, why they're just like watching Pikachu carry, but I don't know. Some of these pictures like sometimes make sense, but sometimes I'm just like, what does it mean? Like what are you trying to get after, you know what I'm saying? But it's just fun stuff. Let's see what the Smash development team can pull off in these All-Star mode or even Classic mode ending screen, not trophies, but pictures. The credit pictures, which I like to see just from time to time. And again, I mentioned this before, but I do like how it is different between All-Star mode and Classic mode, which is nice, you know, at least it adds some variety, right, to the credits, so you get like a whole new picture every time you complete. Not every time, but like if you were to complete Classic with one character and then complete All-Star with the same character, it'll be two different pictures, which I've always enjoyed that a lot. So definitely props to the team for doing that, for thinking of that. I mean, the pictures I feel like are pretty simple to go after, but like, especially if they have like full references in them, like that's like major props to that. Major props in that like kind of regard. But there we go. That's all there is to really say. Let's go ahead and check out Pikachu's All-Star Mode trophy and see what it's going to talk about. I assume probably his neutral special, just based off the pose that is given off. He's literally doing the neutral special in that. So let's find out. Pikachu Alt. Pikachu's Thunder Jolt fires off a ball of electricity that bounces across the stage, getting weaker as it travels. It does more damage to enemies in the air. The default down special Thunder causes a lightning strike that both shocks opponents and turns Pikachu invincible for a split second. I never freaking knew that it turned him invincible. That's pretty cool. Again, it's for like a very tiny amount of time, but still. But yeah, obviously, we're going to be talking about Thunder Jolt. It makes a lot of sense. But there we have it. That is it for today's episode of Super Smash Bros. for the 3DS. Thank you so much for watching. In the next one, we're going to be heading through All-Star Mode as another heavy character, Charizard, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, well, stay tuned for that one, I guess. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch, second channel, music channel, VOD channel. You know, all that's down below in the description. You already get the drift of it all. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Pop-Tart, out.